morning. Welcome to the daily current affair discussion. The first topic that we'll take is on top quark, the Higgs boson's closest friend. So we are discussing about the metal which is very much important for the origin of the universe, the quark. Physicists at the Large Hadron Collider in Europe reported the most precise mass measurement of the top quark at 170.52 GeV square, having implication for the whole universe. The elementary particles, quark, are the ultimate building blocks of visible matter in the universe. They make up the proton and neutrons of an atom, lies on the ground floor of the standard model of particle physics. Experimental evidence at the Standard Linear Accelerator Center in California, USA in 1968, experiments fired electrons and mutons at protons and found evidence that electrons and mutons are scattering of three smaller particles contained within the proton, with each having their own electric charge. Under normal condition, quarks are always bound together by the strong nuclear force and never exist alone, forming composite particles called the hadrons. That variance, these are the particles made of three quarks, which includes protons, 2 up and 2 down quark, and neutrons, 1 up to 2 down quark. Particles made of two quarks are called the mesons. Then flavors. In the present standard model, there are 6 flavors of quark, with each having its own set of quantum numbers and with different masses. Up quarks, down quarks, strange quarks. Then charm quark. Bottom quark, top quark. It is the heaviest with the mass over 61,000 times more than the up quark. So this is the different types of quark. About the quark, top quark is the most massive particle scientists have found on date. It is 110 times heavier than the water molecule, or 3 times as much as the copper, and 90% of as much a full caffeine molecule. Decay, the top quark is a very unstable particle and break off into lighter, more stable particles in less than 10 to 25 seconds. By the mass energy equivalence, a more massive particle is also also a more energetic particle, and the more energetic particle often break down into one with less energy. Discovery. Top quark was discovered in 1995 at the particle accelerator in the US called the Tevatron, measuring its mass to be 151.2197 GeV by C2 square at first. Physicists at the Large Hadron Collider in Europe reported the most precise figure at this. Significance of measuring the precise mass of top quark. To understand Higgs boson interacts most strangely with the top quark, as it is the most massive subatomic particle. By measuring the top quark mass as precisely as possible, a lot can be known about the Higgs boson as well. Higgs boson interacts with the particles, providing them with their mass. Without this aspect of nature, no particle would have mass. Universe quantum that tunneling events. Measuring the top quark mass precisely has implications for whether our universe will tunnel out of existence. The Higgs boson, with its mass of 126 GeV, is precise enough to keep the universe in its current state. The atom of most chemical elements will be destroyed, taking stars, galaxies, and Earth life with them if the Higgs field was slightly stronger than it is now. Peculiar nature determine its oddball nature, as on the one hand it is the one closest to the Higgs boson's mass, and on the other hand all the other particles like it are much lighter. Researcher will be able to incorporate the tough quark mass measurement into calculation that inform our understanding of our universe particles. Finding more particles, precisely measuring the top quark mass is also okay. So precisely measuring the top quark mass is also key to knowing whether some other particle with mass closer to that of the top quark could be hiding in the data. Then next is about the trade relationship between India and China. This article discusses India's increasing manufacturing capabilities in sectors like solar cells and electronics, heavily relying on imported Chinese components. It also covers the complex trade and political relationship between India and China, highlighting both economic independence and strategic challenges. Although India and China are dependent on each other in trade and more India dependent on China, but the political relationship is not good. So amid the situation, so how the political link can be strengthened and trade can be further beneficial to both the sides need more discussion and deliberation. Okay. India's increasing manufacturing capability in sector like solar cell and electronics, heavily relying on imported Chinese component. It also covers the complex trade and political relationship between India and China, highlighting both economic dependence and strategic challenges. What is the current status of India's manufacturing sector? The solar cell production, India's solar cell manufacturing capacity is set to increase from 6 gigawatt to 30 gigawatt within a year, positioning the country as a potential exporter of solar products. Initially, India was a net importer of solar products, but right now India is going to be a net exporter of the solar products. Electronic manufacturing, the capacity of manufacturing electronics, especially mobile phones, now meet 97% of domestic demand in India. India is the second largest manufacturer and exporter of the mobile phone. that is what? So now meets 97% of the domestic demand. India earned 15 billion from handset export last year, with projections to reach 50 billion in electronic export in the next 2 years. So, from a net importer, India became a net exporter, and it started earning 15 billion, and target has been to increase to 50 billion in the next 2 years. What is the trade relationship between India and China? Volume of trade. Over the past 4 years, trade between India and China has been recorded at 88 billion, 126 billion, and 136 billion, and 119 billion, showing significant economic exchanges. So the last 4 years, from 88 billion to 126, 136, and 109 billion. Import reliance. Import from China have grown by 31% in the past year, with a noted increase in the share of electronic device and components from China. India relies on the Chinese import for crucial components like solar cell, glass frames, and electronic parts such as printed circuit boards and semiconductors. Okay. Despite strategic tension, the trade deficit continued largely due to essential nature of Chinese import and support India's manufacturing and economic ambition. So, strategic compartmentalization. Despite tension in the Galwan incident, economic engagement continues separately from the border issue, highlighting a strategy to prioritize economic ties despite political or military dispute. Although India and China have political disputes, its economic relation is not affected to that an extent by the political dispute between the two countries. Although political dispute is there, but the economic relation remain very stable and it is growing. The key certainties in India-China relation. No gain from military conflict. China has nothing to benefit from a full-scale military confrontation with India, indicating a mutual understanding to avoid such escalations in military conflict. Because if the military conflict get aggravated, China is not going to get any benefit. Persistent gap, a significant economic and power disparity between India and China is expected to continue for at least another decade. Okay, so this dependency, because India will depend on the Chinese products, and this dependency will continue for one more decade. Balanced border deterrence. India's strong border deterrence defenses match the scale of Chinese military build-up, maintaining a status quo at the border. But in the last few years, take it up to 3 years, so India has been spending massively on its defense sector and spending and upgrading the defense infrastructure in the border area, and that is the reason why status quo is being maintained in the border between India and China. Domestic challenges in China. China faces internal macroeconomic and demographic issue along with complex border dispute with other neighbors. So, which complex border dispute with other neighbors, which demand substantial attention from its policymakers. Shared global interests. So, representing 40% of the world's population, India and China share more common goal interest than often recognized, stemming from their status as ancient civilizations and as close neighbors since the ancient period. Dialogue importance. The need for distinctions in dialogue between states, government, and people and society is crucial. There is significant potential to enhance people-to-people connection, because if this channel of relationship, the people-to-people interaction, it increase, so definitely this will further strengthen the relationship between the two countries. There is significant potential to enhance people-to-people connections, fostering better mutual understanding despite ongoing border hostilities. What should be India's strategy? Enhance political dialogue, engage China through more robust political dialogue to better understand and manage bilateral issues, as suggested by experts like former Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale. Okay, so explore export opportunities. Explore the Chinese 6 trillion consumer market more ex- expectively, effectively. Even a 1% market share offers significant economic opportunity given the size of Chinese economy. Strategic use of Chinese capital. Adopt a nuanced approach to Chinese capital inflow. Okay, explore export opportunity. Explore the Chinese 6 trillion consumer market more effectively. Even a 1% market share offers a significant economic opportunity given the size of Chinese economy. Strategic use of Chinese capital. Adopt a nuisance approach to Chinese capital inflow. Avoid general restrictions that might hamper economic opportunity, especially in sectors where such investment do not pose national security threat, like the automobile industry. Increase people to people link. Despite border hostilities, there is a need to enhance people to people relations, which can help improve mutual understanding and smooth over political tension. Okay, The next is impact of the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita 2023 on the street vendors. So the IPC has been changed and Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita became the new name as passed by the parliament. Okay. So the what the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita and its impact on the street vendors. So what challenges do street vendors face with the introduction of the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita 2023 new legal framework? The Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita or VNS 2023 which replaced the Indian Penal Code or IPC. The pre-1947 law was replaced by this by the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita. Replaced the old law called the Indian Penal Code or IPC. Hello. So the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita 2023 introduced updated legal codes that replace the outdated pre-1947 law called the Indian Penal Code. The street vendor was one of the first individual charged under section 285 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita for causing obstruction under a foot overbridge at New Delhi railway station, illustrating immediate enforcement challenges. Challenges in regulation. Despite the Street Vendor Act 1920, which aim to regulate the organized and organized street vending, implementation has been poor. The Act's goal to map vending zone and issue certificate have not effectively managed the chaos. Corruption and inconsistency, arbitrary enforcement by the local officials and police corruption have exacerbated difficulty for the vendors. The act was intended to reduce bribery, but uneven law enforcement has led to continued problems. Economic impact, restrictive intervention in street vending impact the livelihood of many vendors who rely on this informal economy. What should be done? Simplify licensing. Licenses for street vendors should be easier to obtain and not scarce right now. They should have a license to sell in the street or to do their business as street vendors. This is the most important, because in case the enforcement agency try to take any action against the street vendors, it is because they don't have the license for that. Challenges of Indian shift on green energy. Next topic. The article discusses the challenges India faces as it moves away from the fossil fuel to greener energy sources. It highlights the impact on government revenue from fossil fuel and need for new revenue sources, and how to manage the economic and employment effects of this transition. What are the challenges of India's shift to green energy? Revenue loss. Transitioning away from fossil fuel will significantly reduce government revenue, which currently constitute 3% of the Indian GDP. The collection from the fossil fuel. The tax. State financial autonomy. Different states have varied dependency on revenue sources. For instance, Odisha earns significantly through coal royalties, whereas Maharashtra relies on tax revenue. The introduction of the GST over VAT threaten this autonomy, particularly concerning petroleum products. But petroleums are not yet being brought on the goods and service taxes. They are still in the VAT. Electronic vehicle subsidy. While fossil fuel vehicles generate substantial revenue, electric vehicles require hefty subsidies. Balancing this subsidy, the need to maintain government revenue is a complex challenge for the government. Employment impact. The reduction in coal use will lead to job losses, not just directly in mining but also indirectly through associated services like and industries, affecting numerous livelihoods. Standard assets. Transitioning from thermal power to renewable energy lead to standard assets, where investment in thermal power became redundant, further complicating the financial challenge of the green transition from the fossil fuel to the green energy transition. How can India address these challenges? Rationalizing GST, adjusting the goods and service tax is a potential strategy, but it requires significant negotiations between the central government and the states to find a balance that does not compromise state revenue autonomy. Implementing carbon and road taxes. Introducing carbon taxes could accelerate the transition from fossil fuel and alleviate immediate revenue issues. Additionally, road use taxes over a straightforward method that might align better with the goal of maintaining state autonomy. Reducing non-productive expenditure while challenging cutting down on non-essential government spending could free up funds for more critical areas impacted by the transition. Enhancing the PSC role in renewable energy, public sector undertakings and enterprises. The encouraging public sector enterprises that are currently involved in fossil fuel to participate in the renewable energy sector would align their interest with the transition goal, helping to mitigate revenue losses because like ONGC, like IOCL, HPCL, BPCL, Coal India Limited, so which are in the traditional fossil fuel based energy, if they are given a scope to shift from fossil fuel to the renewable, so they will have interest to do this, enjoying the government benefits given in the fossil fuel segment. Sir, class online class set online class free call coach. Then the Santal Hul Divas is observed annually on June 30th in memory of the tribal leaders Sidhu and the Kanu Murmu, who led the Santali Hul rebellion on 30th June 1855 at the Bhognadi in the Sahebganj district, now in Jharkhand. The Santali rebellion, or the Santal rebellion, also known as the Hul, 1855 to 1856, was a revolt against both the British East India Company and the Jamindari system by the Santal. The rebellion was led by the four sibling brothers Sidhu, Kanu, Chand and the Bhairav. Santal people migrated from the Birbhum and the Manbhum regions of Bengal to the modern day Santal Pargana. The British relocated them to the forested area of the Damin Kiko as part of their revenue collection strategy. The Santal rebelled against the British due to extortions, oppressive extractions, disposition of property, false measurement and other irregularities or illegalities. Contrary to popular belief, the whole was a well-planned and organized political war. Operation include guerrilla formation, military teams, detective, secret base, logistics and network of message carriers for the coordination. Non-Adivasi Hindu caste also participated in the rebellion. The Fullo Jhano, two sisters, led an army of 1,000 women, played a crucial role in the rebellion. The East India Company's army was defeated twice during the uprising. After the rebellion started, the martial law was proclaimed by the East India Company, which lasted until January 1856, when the martial law was suspended and the rebellion was eventually suppressed by the Presidency Army of the British East India Company. Okay. The Santal rebellion inspired future uprisings such as the Santal involvement in the 1857 mutiny. It symbolized resistance against the British colonial regime and laid the foundation of subsequent movement in Jharkhand. National Test House. Recently, the Centre plans to make National Test House an apex certification body for Indian products. The National Test House, established in 1912 at the Government Test House in Alipur, Kolkata. National Test House is a leading scientific organization dedicated to testing, calibration and quality evaluation of raw metals and finished product for over 190 years. Nodal Ministry, National Test House operates as a subordinate office under the Department of Consumer Affairs, Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. Key objective to support and advise domestic manufacturers on engineering goods production through quality testing. So this provides quality testing to the engineering goods produced in the country for the quality test. Then the Chittal, the project Cheetah authority have reached an in principle decision to shift surplus cheetah from the Kunno National Park to the Gandhi Sagar Wildlife Sanctuary to save the cheetah population. So cheetal, spotted deer, the native species, the cheetal, also known as the spotted deer, cheetal deer, the axis deer, a deer species indigenous to the Indian subcontinent, origin the Yunnan Christian polygraph explain biological feature. It is sexually dichotomous, male are larger than female, and the antler are exclusively found on males. Population estimation. According to IUCN, the axis deer is found throughout its range, although no overall population estimation is given. However, the IUCN data is classified the axis deer as a least concern. Okay, that means the number is substantial. The Kunnu National Park situated in the Sopur district of Madhya Pradesh, nestled near the Vindhya Hills. Named after the Kunnu River, a major tributary of the Chambal River, the park was originally established as a wildlife sanctuary before being designed as a national park in 2018. It has been chosen as a site for the action plan for introduction of cheetah in India. The fauna, the jungle cat, Indian leopard, sloth bear, Indian wolf, striped hyena, jackal, golden jackal, Bengal fox, and the dole. The forest area of the Kunnu National Park are predominantly occupied by the Kadai, Salai, and the Kairi tree, constituting a mixed forest environment. The park boasts a diverse plant life, including 123 tea species, 71 soft species, 32 exotic and climbing species, and 34 species of bamboos and the grass are in that for Kunnu National Park. The Seko River. Recently, 5 soldiers died after a tank was swept away by a strong water current in the Sayok River during a military training in Ladakh. The Sayok River flows through the northern Ladakh in Jammu and Kashmir, India, and into the Pakistan-administered region of the Gilgit-Baltistan, where it merges with the Indus River. As a tributary of the Indus River, it has a unique course. Its primary right-bank tributary is the Nubra River, which is a controversial point. The river originates from the Remo Glacier, one of the trunks of the Siachen Glacier. Siachen Glacier. The Sayok River flows through a broad valley, quickly narrowing into a gorge after the Chalunka before finally joining the Indus River at the Sardu in Pakistan. Strategic importance. The Sayok River valley holds strategic significance due to its access to several crucial passes in the Karakoram range. The Sayok River valley holds strategic significance due to its access to several crucial passes in the Karakoram range, notably the renowned Karakoram Pass. The snowblind malware. Recently, it has found that a new banking malware called the Snowblind is targeting Android users to steal banking credentials. About the Snowblind malware, Snowblind is a new type of Android banking malware designed to steal banking credentials by bypassing security features. Key features: Snowblind uses a built-in Android security feature to bypass anti-tamper mechanism. This malware repackages app to avoid detection of accessibility features that can extract sensitive information like login credentials and gain remote access to the app. Snowblind exploits a feature called the SecMop, which stands for Secure Computing and is part of the Linux kernel and Android operating system. It injects code that loads before the SecMop initializes anti-tampering messages, allowing the malware to bypass security mechanism and utilize accessibility service. Snowblind can remotely view the victim's screen by using accessibility services. It can disable biometric and two-factor authentication, which are commonly used security features in banking apps to prevent unauthorized access. Snowblind typically infect users who install apps from untrusted sources. The malware is mostly active in Southeast Asia, although the exact number of affected devices is unknown. The security implication: Snowblind poses a significant threat to banking app users by circumventing advanced security measures. Users are advised to avoid installing app from untrusted sources and to remain vigilant about app permissions and behaviors. In Global India AI Summit 2024, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology is organizing the Global India AI Summit. This summit highlights India's commitment to the ethical and inclusive growth of AI technologies. About the Global India AI Summit 2024, hosted by the Global India AI Summit 2024, hosted by the Ministry of Electronic and Information Technology. Duration: it will take place on July 3rd and 4th in New Delhi. The key objectives: foster collaboration, bringing together global AI experts from various fields including science, industry, civil society, government, international organizations, and academia. Knowledge exchange, sharing insight on key AI issues and challenges. Promote ethical AI, emphasizing responsible AI development and deployment. India's role: India will host number countries and expert from the global partnership on artificial intelligence to promote safe, secure, and trustworthy artificial intelligence. India AI pillars and focus areas. Okay. Then Indian AI Innovation Center. Okay. Dedicated to developing and deploying indigenous large multimodal models and domain specific foundation to cater to the unique needs of India's diverse industry and sectors. Then India AI Innovation Center dedicated to developing and deploying indigenous large multimodal models and domain-specific foundational models. This center aims to cater to okay. So the India AI mission aims to build a robust AI ecosystem in India, focusing on seven key pillars. India AI compute capacity. This pillar focuses on establishing scalable AI computing ecosystem with over 2,000 GPU through public-private partnership. An AI marketplace will provide AI as a service and pre-trained models, acting as a central hub for essential AI resources. India AI Innovation Center dedicated to developing and deploying indigenous large multimodal models and domain-specific foundational models. This center aims to cater to the unique needs of India's diverse industry and sectors. India AI Dataset Platform. This platform aims to streamline access to high quality non-personal datasets for AI innovation. A unified data platform will provide seamless access for Indian startups and researchers, aiding in the development of the robust AI model. India AI Application Development Initiative. This initiative promotes AI application in critical sector by addressing problem statements from central ministries. Okay, central ministries, state departments, and other institutions. So it it focuses on developing impactful AI solution for large-scale socio-economic transformation. India AI Future Skills. By reducing barriers to AI education, this pillar aims to increase AI courses at various academic levels and establish data and AI lab in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, ensuring a steady pipeline of skilled AI professionals nationwide. India AI Startup Financing. This pillar support deep tech AI startups with streamlined access to funding by providing risk capital and financial support. The mission aims to nurture a vibrant ecosystem of AI startups, driving technological advancement and economic growth. Safe and trusted AI. This pillar ensures responsible AI development. Okay, that the Minami Torishima Island. Next topic. Researchers recently discovered around 230 million metric tons of minerals crucial for making electronic car battery on the seabed of the Minami Toshima Island. So this is in this particular island. So it is known as the Marcus Island. Is isolated Japanese coral atoll in the northeast Pacific Ocean. It is the easternmost territory belonging to Japan and the only Japanese territory in the Pacific Plate. Past the Japan Trench, the island lies 1950 kilometers south to central Tokyo. The shape of the island is close to an equatorial triangle. The Miami Hiroshima Island is formed by a raised coral reef. The terrain is flat with a maximum altitude of 9 meters. Island is located in the transitional zone between tropical and subtropical climate. It has an oceanic climate with an average annual temperature of around 25 degrees centigrade. The exclusive economic zone based on the baseline of the Miami Torishima Island covers approximately 430 square kilometers, which is larger than Japan's land area. Coming to the question, in recent years, India and Nepal have made significant strides in energy cooperation and digital connectivity. Evaluate the impact of these development on bilateral relations, economic growth, and regional dynamics. India and Nepal share a unique relationship characterized by deep-rooted cultural, historical, and geographical ties. India is Nepal's largest trading partner and the principal source of foreign investment, with extensive cooperation in areas such as trade, education, and infrastructure development. Recent years, India and Nepal have made significant strides in energy cooperation and digital connectivity, making a new chapter in the bilateral relation. Impact on bilateral relation, enhanced cooperation. The collaboration in energy and digital sectors has strengthened the bilateral ties, reflecting a deepening of mutual trust and cooperation. Recently, India renewed an agreement to export electricity to Nepal for next 3 months at a time when Nepal is facing a power crisis. Joint projects such as the cross-border electricity trade and digital infrastructure development have been fostered strategic partnership. The joint vision statement on power sector cooperation was signed in 2022, which covers bilateral cooperation in the production, transmission, and cross-border trading of hydropower. Diplomatic engagement, regular high-level visits and dialogues focusing on these sectors have improved diplomatic relations. For instance, during 2023 visit of the Nepal Prime Minister, a long-term trade agreement was signed between India and Nepal, aiming to export 10,000 megawatt of electricity from Nepal to India for the next 10 years. Mutual benefit, both countries, so India invest in the projects and the power is exported by Nepal to India. But investment in the power sector in Nepal was for instance, in February 2024, the Indian Ministry of Communication allowed Nepal citizens to obtain mobile SIM card during their travel to India, enhancing connectivity for Nepal travelers and boosting Indian tourism. Concrete resolution, joint initiative in energy and digital connectivity, a provided platform for addressing and resolving bilateral disputes amicably. Joint initiative like the Arun 3 and the Upper Karnali, where both countries took to work together, a provided platform for addressing resolving bilateral dispute amicably. Impact on economic growth, energy security, increased energy cooperation, including hydropower projects and electricity trade, has enhanced energy security for both countries, promoting sustainable economic growth. For instance, the Arun 3 hydropower project, which is expected to generate 900 megawatt, will significantly enhance energy security for both India and Nepal. Infrastructure development, investment in energy infrastructure such as power plants and transmission line have spurred economic activity and job creation. Digital economy, improved digital connectivity has facilitated the growth of the digital economy, enabling better access to markets, services, and information. For example, Indian national can now make payment in Nepal using mobile phone transfer and QR code scanners through unified payment interface applications of India. Trade and investment. Enhanced connectivity has boosted trade and investment opportunities, benefiting business and consumers in both the countries. For example, Nepal earned over 10 billion in 2022 from electricity exports, which has helped reduce the trade deficit with India and augment foreign exchange reserve. Rural development. Access to energy and digital services in rural area has improved the quality of life and livelihood opportunity for the rural population in the border areas. Impact on regional dynamics. Regional stability strengthened India-Nepal relation, contributed to regional stability, setting a positive example for other South Asian countries. Economic integration. Collaborative projects in the energy and digital sector promote greater economic integration in the region. For example, development of the SARC grid aims to connect the power grid of South Asian countries, facilitating cross-border electricity trade and enhancing regional economic integration. Geopolitical influence. India's support in the area helps counterbalance external influences and reinforces its position as a key regional player. For example, India provided significant financial and technical assistance for the completion of the Arun 3 hydropower projects in Nepal, strengthening its geopolitical influence in South Asia. Cross-border cooperation. Successful bilateral projects can pave the way for broader regional cooperation in energy and digital connectivity, benefiting the entire South Asian region. For example, successful bilateral projects such as the Motihari-Amlakunj petrol pipeline and proposed Raksul-Kathmandu rail link can pave the way for broader regional cooperation, benefiting the entire South Asian region. Environmental sustainability. Joint effort in renewable energy projects such as hydropower contribute to environmental sustainability and regional climate goals. The Nepal Electricity Authority and the Indian National Thermal Power Corporation Limited signed an MOU to collaborate on renewable energy projects. Recent effort to renew bilateral relations through the enhanced cooperation in digital economy, digital connectivity and energy security mark a significant step in mending ties that soared over after the 2015 political crisis in Nepal, and the strong bonding that existed in the post-independence period till the 2015 is being rebuilt again. Rebuilding the political trust and improve India's economic perception in Nepal requires India to openly discuss contentious issues and show flexibility in accommodating Nepal's interest. This initiative highlights a commitment to foster a stronger, more collaborative partnership that benefit both nation and contribute to regional stability. So thank you for watching. Keep on watching regular update yourself.